Hello there. Welcome to another edition of Dwayne Allen Guitar Concepts. I hope everyone's having a great new year and a new week and everything and staying safe and healthy. I wanted to do a lesson today. I want to put it in the intermediate category today. I was thinking about what I wanted to do today, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about chords. I've been talking about leads and soloing a lot lately, and actually, I want to do some lessons on playing rhythm guitar, but I think if you learn today's lesson, it'll help you with rhythm guitar playing even more, just because you'll learn more chords. So, I've done some lessons in the advanced category. It might have been the intermediate category where we're learning different ways of learning jazz chords, drop twos, drop threes, all that kind of stuff. This is going to be a little step back to triads, actually. I want to talk about triads today, because if you're in the rock or pop world, you're going to play more triads, more so than you'll play like seventh chords. So what is a triad? A triad is basically a three-note chord, okay? I would make sure you understand basic chord building maybe before doing this lesson. How do you build a major chord? How do you build a minor chord? It's kind of easy, actually. If you take a C major scale and you play the first, third, and fifth notes of the scale, you'll have a triad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C, E, G, okay? Now, a lot of guitar players, especially in the rock world, we tend to play thicker, more denser sounding chords, like bar chords, like or that kind of a thing. And that works really well in rock music with a smaller group, or if you have one guitar, bass, and drums, or maybe two guitars, bass, and drums. But if you play other styles of music, like any kind of, like if you play a lot of African American music, like soul and funk and R&B and reggae, most of those kinds of musics, the guitar, the rhythm guitar, is actually using triads more so than bar chords. And one of the main reasons for this is in those kinds of musics, you usually have a bigger group. Like in a soul band or a funk band, you're usually going to have one guitar, maybe two guitars, bass and drums, usually keyboards, and a horn section a lot of the time. So there's a lot more instruments kind of pining for space. And if you play a big, thick sounding bar chord, it's going to be too much space in the sound spectrum. It's going to sound too thick, too dense. So guitar players in those types of musical situations tend to play smaller, thinner sounding chords that kind of cut through the band more and take up less space. So we play what we call triads. Now, like I just said to you, a major triad is the first, third, and fifth notes of the major scale. Now, what we as guitar players will often do is we'll play inversions, which means instead of 1, 3, 5, we might go 5, 1, 3, or 3, 5, 1, or whatever it is. You can take those three numbers and mix them up in any order you want, and we call that an inversion, okay? I want to show you some of the basic triad forms that you can play on the guitar. And what I would do is take each of these forms, as long as you know where the root is, you can move it around to different keys and learn a whole bunch of different triad forms, okay? So I want to give you a bunch of movable triads. I'm going to try to avoid open strings just to make it so you can play them anywhere. But we're going to do a bunch of movable major triads in the key of C, and then I'll turn them into minor, okay? So the first triad is this one right here. So you're on the 5th fret, 3rd fret, third finger, pinky, first finger. And those notes, names of those notes are C, E, G. So we have root, 3rd, 5th. So if you want to take that one triad around, the root is on the G string. So you can play a C or a D or an E or an F. You can move it all around. So as I teach you each triad, I want you to kind of learn where the root is and take them around in different keys. Okay? So this is the first one. Okay? The second one is on the 8th fret. You bar your first finger on the 8th fret. You put your second finger on the 9th fret of the 3rd string. On this one, the root is on the 1st string. So you could do C, D, E, F, G, whatever. Okay? So we have 3, 5, 1. Okay? The next one is on the 12th fret. This is actually a D chord shape. So if you know your first position D chord, you can play it up here. Okay, so we have 5th, root, is on the second string. So C, A, F sharp, F, whatever, okay? So we have 3 on the first 3 strings. Okay, if you feel like I'm going a little too fast, just rewind. That's the beauty of video, okay? The next set is going to be the D string, G string, and B string, okay? Here's the first C triad, okay? This is 5th, root, 3rd. So here's the root right here. So you take it up and down, C, D, E, F, okay? Okay, the next one is 10th fret, 9th fret, 8th fret, okay? C, E, G, root, 3rd, 5th, okay? The root is right here. Take it around the neck, C, A, G, F, so on. Okay, the next one on this set is going to be on the 14th fret, 13th, 14th, 12th, and 13th, okay? 3rd, 5th, root. Okay, so the root is on the second string. Take that around. Okay, so on this set we have this one, and this one. Okay, now let's do the A string, the D string, and the G string. We have E, G, C, 3rd, 5th, root. So the root is on the G string, so you go up and down according to the G string. C, D, E, F, and so on. Okay? The next one is going to be 10th fret, 10th fret, 9th fret, G, C, E, and the root is on the C right here. Okay? So we take that up and down the neck. Okay? The last one is way up here, pinky on the 15th fret, 3rd finger on the 14th fret, first finger on the 5th, which is the 12th fret. So C, E, G, so the root is on the 5th string. Okay. Last set. You're not going to use these as much because these are on the lower strings and they can get kind of muddy. So we have 5th, root, 3rd. Okay. 3, 3, 3rd fret, 2nd fret. Root is on the 5th string. Okay. The next one is pinky on the 8th fret, 3rd finger on the 7th fret, 1st finger on the 5th fret. Okay. So we have C, root is here, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. So that's that one. Last one is 3rd finger on the 12th, bar your 1st finger flat on the 10th fret. Okay, it's the last one. So 3rd, 5th, root. Here's your root is C, C, D, E, F. Okay, you won't use that group as much. So in review, we've got this one, this one. There's 3 on each set. Next set, next set, next set. Next one. Intonation's a little off on this guitar. I gotta get it adjusted, sorry. Okay, so that's a lot of chords. I went a little fast, but remember you can rewind and take little bits and pieces. These are a lot of chords to learn. It might take you a few weeks to learn all of these, okay? Why are these important? Because when you're playing rhythm guitar, you can use these chords. When you're like, if you were in a soul band or something and there's some kind of vamp on A, a lot of guitar players don't know very many A chords, so they might play a bar chord like this. That's pretty boring after a while, right? It's a little bit cooler if you can move around some of the different voicings. Notice how it has more of a kind of an R&B soul flavor, because that's how those guitar players play. Whenever you hear a reggae band, they don't go like this. right? I'm doing A to D, right? So I'm going to play these little triads. A, D. If I want to go to E, right? So that's how a lot of these guys do. And, you know, Rolling Stones do this all the time. That kind of stuff, right? So, you know, Hendrix uses these all the time. Instead of like that kind of a D, he might play this little triad. And when you want to do all those kinds of Hendrix fills, I have a video on this, by the way. He usually does them based on these triads. So like he'll be in D. So that's a lot of this is coming from knowing these triads. So I would learn them in as many keys as you can. Now, since I taught you majors, we can do all of them minor. All you got to do is find the third, flat that a half step, and you have a whole bunch of minor triads now. So if this is a C major, the third is on the second string, so you go down a half step. There's a minor, okay? C major, the third is here. C minor. C major, the third is up here. C minor. C major, take the third a half step down. C minor. C major, the third is here. C minor, okay. This chord here, third is here, go down a half step. Okay, and then you go here. Here's the third. This one. Third is here. Okay, this chord. Third is here. Then down here. Third is here. Then this one. Third is right here. Okay. Third is here. So now let's say you have kind of like a, I'm going to make up a progression. It's going to go A minor, G, F, C, A minor, G. Now we play the triads. C, A minor, G, F. Play different ones. C, A minor, G, F, C. See how I came up with all those little triads following that chord progression? Gives you a lot more variety. This is especially helpful when you're in a band with another guitar player, and let's say you have like a real basic rhythm player who's like strumming chords like this, right? Then if you play the triads up higher, it fills in the sound really nicely. So one guy's doing this. That kind of a thing. So I would really learn these triads and start incorporating them into different songs. Like I said, I want to do a lesson on R&B and funk guitar, and if you learn all these triads, then when I go and do that lesson, you'll already know these chords and you'll be aware of how to use them and everything. So I hope you enjoyed that lesson. I did go kind of fast with each chord, but that's what the rewind button's for. You can just learn a few of them at a time and then come back to the video and learn a few more and everything. If you're not familiar with chord building and you don't feel strongly at it, I would look around the internet. There's a million videos on this stuff. Learn how to build the different kinds of triads like majors and minors. They even have diminished and augmented too, which we didn't go over. Anyway, I hope you guys got something out of that. And by the way, those aren't all of the triads. There's a whole other different kinds of sets where we can do string skipping and all that, but I don't want to overwhelm you with too much stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed that. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And if you enjoy the lesson, please hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends, send it to your friends. If you want private lessons, I'm available. I want to help you. And the best way I can do that is to hear you play and help, make suggestions like that. So if you're interested, hit me up. All right? Have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.